tomorrow night at Assembly Hall, one of the great venues in college basketball. The home team, though, hasn't played like they play in one of the great venues for a long time. It's been over a decade that Indiana's kind of been just average to above average as a program. They've been anything but a lead. Tomorrow they play UCLA. UCLA's been really hot. I know they're coming off a loss, but before that, they won like 6-7 in a row. Indiana has struggled. Mike Woodson said he was going to retire at the end of the year, John, but lo and behold, they went on the road and beat Michigan State the other day. So they got a little juju. Will it continue tomorrow against a good UCLA team, sir?
I think it will. Indiana's playing with no pressure. Their coach said they're going to step down. Everyone thinks they suck. So they're loose. And a loose, talented team is dangerous, as we saw last game, right? So I like Indiana. I'm just going to, I like Indiana. Everybody, I mean, I don't know the speech coach gave them, but I'm pretty sure I had to say it was something like, we have nothing to lose. Everybody thinks that we aren't any good. And they showed that when they are playing at a high level, this is the type of stuff they can do and the type of wins they can, accumulate. So, and UCLA's got to fly from LA across the country, time zone difference, all that good stuff. I like Indiana in this spot.
McCall, how do you feel about the matchup tomorrow in Bloomington? John says they're loose, but should it have come to that? Mike Woodson having to say, "I'm going away," for this team to actually kind of, loosen their tie a little bit.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation for Mike Woodson. It's a difficult situation for his staff. I was told on March 1st, 2022, that I would no longer be the head coach at the University of Massachusetts, and we had 3 games left to play. We had it was senior night the next night on a Wednesday night. Then it was at George Mason, and then it was the conference tournament. And deciding to coach the rest of the season, and this is a little bit of a different deal because Mike Woodson has said he would resign with all the noise that's around your program. But there is a looseness of the basket kind of opening up, and how he's approaching this season, the rest of the season, I have no idea. But the pressure is kind of off, and the message when I was going through that is, hey, let's just try to enjoy this. Let's try to enjoy, the next couple weeks that we have with each other, and let the chips fall where they may. I don't know if that's what he's saying, but that's what it looked like against Michigan State. Let's just go out there and have some fun. Your coaching staff not screaming and yelling in practice and trying to demand things, like alleviate that and just go try to find some joy in coaching over the next couple months, because that's at the end of the day, that's going to be it. Now, if they go on an absolute run and a heater, and now the administration is going to have to make a decision on whether or not he is going to resign, because he may come back and say, I'm not going to resign if they continue to play at a high level. But, trying to find that joy and trying to just have some fun, over these next, couple months for him and for this program. And that makes them a dangerous team. That makes them dangerous because that basket opens up and the players will play a little bit looser and, go out there and cut it loose. But this UCLA team, look, they're they lost by 5 at Illinois. They've stayed in the Midwest, I'm sure. They didn't fly back all the way out to California. I'm sure they've been there and getting prepared for this one. I'd like to get Henson's take, too, just on the Friday night tilt. It's not Saturday college basketball. We get the Friday night game. Would you want to play on Friday night, Henson?
100%. We used to love when we get a little Friday night, Saturday early game, man, because get the weekend off. You're feeling good if you get a win. College kids, you know what time it is, coach. So a Friday night tilt in Bloomington. If we could get a big win against UCLA, I mean, they're for sure going to be off the next day. Mike Woodson is an NBA guy. They're for sure off. So this is a big time spot for them to have a good time this weekend too. Let's not remember they're college kids and they got a lot more money than we did. So, they might even, who knows, man, they might be able to go out, get a table, pop some bottles. I don't know. But, we were at the bar, but, it's just a different age now. So, maybe Umar Ballo's taking some of them M's and taking the guys out for a nice steak, and so there's definitely something to a Friday night matchup, especially a big time matchup like that.
Think about this though. Think about their schedule. Like if you look at Indiana, like coming down the stretch, right? Like this is going to be a tough game, no question about it. Like this is Mick Cronin. He's got his team playing well. They're one of the more hotter teams in the country. But then they get Purdue at home, which will be a difficult game. Then they get Penn State at home, and then they stay out on the West Coast. They get Washington, Oregon, and then they get both those games on the road, and then Ohio State at home. Like there's some winnable games for Indiana coming down the stretch. Like there's some winnable games when you think about it. So it is going to be very interesting to see how the rest of this season plays out for the Indiana.
I know it was one win though. Let's hold on to our